Class, friends, fellow students, guests, and Professor Wick, thank you all for coming. Thank you, Gwen, for your glowing introduction. $650. Let me repeat that figure. $650. One meal swipe at the Lowry cafeteria here at the College of Worcester has been valued at $7.50. If you multiplied that by the 87 swipes I had left over at the end of last semester, you would come out with $652. $650. That's an Xbox 360 and a TV to go with it. $600. I don't get that money back. It doesn't. I don't see it. It was completely wasted by the flawed system that goes with the meal plan here at the College of Worcester. Today in my speech, I will explain to you the current meal plan. I will illustrate why it was implemented, what are some drawbacks, and how it could be improved. At the end, I will call you to action and tell you why the plan that I have is a better one. The current meal plan at the College of Worcester was introduced in 2008. It replaced a 21 meal per week single option meal plan that only was available at Lowry and Kittredge. It was implemented to improve the flexibility of the students' dining habits. Right now, prospective students pay $2,517.50 to enter into the meal plan. After they pay their money, they are put into two categories. They are forced to choose from one of three categories, depending on their age. The options range from 200 to 288 meal swipes, which are to be used at Lowry dining halls or Kittredge, and they range from 450 to 150 flex dollars, which are to be used at places like Mom's and the C-Store. This is Mom's. This is Lowry. These are the places where your currency can be implemented. The fourth cheapest option is available only to seniors in independent housing and consists of 80 meals and $500 in flex. Throughout the semester, students spend both forms of currency at the various stores. Swipes work at Lowry, and when you go into Lowry, you receive an unlimited all-you-can-eat from the buffet there. Flex dollars work more like you order things a la carte from Mom's or the cafe in the bottom of Lowry for coffee, beverages, and snack items. It also works at the C-Store, which is, means for cooking for yourself. However, towards the end of the semester, a problem usually arises. Most students have a clear preference of one type of currency over the other. They usually run out of that currency fairly early on and are left with a large surplus at the end of the semester. Myself is a perfect example. I prefer to eat at Mom's and the C-Store. I ran out of flex dollars with 2 weeks left to go in the semester. However, there was no amount of changing my eating habits that would have allowed me to use up my 87 meal swipes at the end of the first semester. And that's a lot of money that I'm not seeing, considering what we pay for it. As each meal plan costs over $2,500, students should be very concerned about this issue. You're paying more than face value for the meals that you eat here at the College of Worcester, and as such, the meals should be uniquely fitted to your needs. The money doesn't carry over. The $650 that I mentioned earlier, that was the real amount of money that I lost. And it was due not to any action on my part, but a wasteful system. I cannot stress enough how important this issue is, because especially in these economic times. Students' families' money is important, and tuition is only on the rise. Everyone should be paying attention to this often underrated issue. In an email interview with Chuck Wagers, head of dining services, I asked him some questions about the flexibility of the plan. According to Mr. Wagers, he thinks that students are, on the whole, happy with how the meal plan has functioned. He's very proud of the changes that they have made since 2008. He thinks that while pricing is an issue for some families and that most students would wish that it was lower, he thinks that as far as flexibility and variability of choices, people are generally happy. I would dispute that. Most students are left with this large surplus in one category or the other. That is a huge waste of money. However, I think that my plan will change that. The plan. At the beginning of the semester, students will pay the same amount of money that they currently do to enter into the meal plan, the $2,500, 17 and 50 cents. However, after paying this money, they are not selecting from one of four choices. They will receive 2,500 Woo Bucks, patent pending. Woo Bucks are not a new form of currency. They're not inputted into the computer or have anything to do with the way that the meals are set up. They're simply a concept that illustrates the money that you put into the program. There's an exchange rate of Lowry swipes to real money, to Woo Bucks. Right now it's $7.50. That would be subject to change at the implementation of this plan. But they have two places to put the money and an exchange rate. That is when they would decide the ratio for themselves. Do you hate Lowry with a passion and would never ever eat there? Put all your money towards flex dollars. That's fine. If you hate, are you the opposite way? You hate the greasy food at Mom's and would eat Lowry for 4 meals a day if you could? All your money can go towards Lowry. The point of the plan is its variability. It uniquely responds to individual students' needs. After doing this, you would report your decisions. This can be done in a variety of ways. Currently, it's done on paper. You pick your option and you send it into the school, but I think that a more efficient way to do it would be on the Scott website. We already have a personalized email system and an account with a password that's unique to us. It will be very easy to report the ratio that you would like for your meal at the beginning of each semester. Step 4, enjoy your meals. The reason that this plan would be so effective is it behaves as I think the meal plan should. Currently, the meal plan at the College of Worcester forces students to accommodate to it. In a face-to-face interview with Liam Cole on April 15th, he told me that first semester he hated eating at Lowry. He ate at Mom's so frequently he ran out of money in the first month. And he never wanted to eat at Lowry again. He ate Easy Mac and Cheese for lunch every day for 3 weeks. That's not a healthy way to live. This would get rid of that. Lion would be happily eating at the C-store until the semester was over. This plan will help because it eliminates the waste that's currently in the meal plan. There is simply, raise your hand if you have used up both forms of currency in your meal plan in the most efficient manner you think is possible. Any semester here. I don't see very many hands. You might be asking, how do I know that this plan will work? Well, there are very few instances available on the internet of college changing meal plans to better accommodate student needs. However, the College of Worcester's example in 2008 is a perfect one. In 2008, they changed the meal plan to try and make the meal plans better for the college. So there's nothing to stop them from doing that again. Also, Denison College, a small D3 university in our athletic conference, has a similar meal plan with flex dollars and swipes dollars, 2 accounts that go to different things. In an on-the-phone interview with Zach Lewinsky, a freshman at Denison, he expressed similar concerns to College of Worcester students, in that most students prefer one type of currency to the other, and there are deficits and surpluses at the end of the year. It's not efficient. Now, you might be asking some of the same questions that the school will probably ask me when I provide this plan to them, such as, how expensive will this plan be? What kind of changes will have to be made? How drastically is this going to affect the campus? And I answer that this plan was designed to be easy to implement. The students are still paying the same amount of money. They're still using flex and swipes. Nothing is changing except the way that you report the money that you'd like to put into it. So it's really a no-brainer. For the benefits that we gain from this plan, I think it far outweighs the small input costs of reporting the numbers. They would need someone to accurately track the numbers, but this is a small campus and that is not a huge job. So, in conclusion, I have presented you the current meal plan, explained why it's an issue, and given you my thoughts on the matter and what I think we can do to help. If you agree with me, there is an easy step that you can do. Other speeches here have called people to action saying that they should talk to their friends or write a letter. My call to action is quite a bit easier. It's something that you've all been doing since you were very little. All I want you to do is sign your name. There's a petition on that podium that I will be presenting to Chuck Wagers, the head of dining services here, to change the meal plan to better support the students' needs. If you agree with the things that I've said today, please sign your name to it. Hopefully we can make a difference on this. Are there any questions? Yes,
would your meal plan standardize Lowry swipes? So like, would I be paying $7.50 each time I swiped in the Lowry?
She asked if my meal plan would be standardizing Lowry swipes if she would pay $7.50 every time she entered into Lowry. Yes, I think that there isn't a problem with the cost of Lowry as it is an all-you-can-eat buffet. What would happen is, as you designated money to be put into your meal swipes account, it would be divided by the $7.50 fee, so that instead of having $500 in there, you would have that equivalent number of meal swipes. It would be very similar to how it is now. Yes, go ahead.
Do you have anything in your plan for just swipes or money that you have left over that you don't use at all?
Her question was if there was anything in the plan for swipes and money that was left over. The point of this meal plan would be you would be the one making the decision to budget yourself. So if there was money left over at the end of the semester, I would say that the school still gets it. That's going to make it really a good thing, a fair way for the school to want to implement it because they're not losing the money that they would normally get from us. But if you have money left over at the end with this plan, it's because you didn't budget yourself appropriately. You were the one deciding where your money was going, so anything left over is kind of more on you rather than getting pigeonholed into a category that didn't fit your dining needs very well.
Two quick things. One, this is for people to budget themselves. What about incoming freshmen who don't really know their preferences?
His question was, what about freshmen who don't really know their preferences yet? There would be a little bit of a learning curve. I mean, there could be a default option that would try to balance the two, that would be an equal distribution of both types. And then I would say after one semester, most students' eating habits would be pretty well locked into place. And then afterwards, 7 semesters of the 8, they would have the opportunity to choose for themselves.
If you had,
So they would choose each semester?
Yes. His question was if we could choose each semester, and the answer was yes. There would be a period where you could change your ratio at the beginning of each semester. Yes, Dr.
my question is, why would you need a ratio? If you had $Woo-Bucks and it was worth X number of dollars, why couldn't you just use them any way you want at the Worcester eating places? Would you have to pick a ratio?
Her question was, why would you need to pick a ratio? And I'm flexible on this issue. If the school was willing to make that change, I don't think that there would be any problem with that. But I was trying to make it an easy transition where you wouldn't have to change the current way that the meal plans are set up and everything. Because if you change flex dollars and swipe dollars to one all spread thing, you've got to change the way the swipe things read the cards. There's some transition there. And so I thought, in a way that would benefit the students immediately, it would be easiest to leave things as they are as much as we can, while still helping the students in ways to prevent waste.
Do you take it into account at all, like for example, you have Plan D right now for students in independent housing, and would you give students the option to, if they wish, choose a lesser from a meal plan, a lower option, lower cost, therefore doing less food?
His question was, would students be allowed to, much like the 4th meal plan option, spend less money than the cap of $2,500 to pay for the meals here? I think that, as a personal issue, I think that should happen, but As far as the school seems to be concerned, they're kind of insistent on everyone buying into it seems rigid. That seems like something that they're not very going to budge on. So I would say in my plan, for the most part, you'd be buying in for the whole sum. Go ahead, Pete.
People make the argument that the reason people don't have enough swipes or enough dollars at the end of the year is because they don't budget themselves well with options there. Like your plan, gives everyone the individual option of choosing a new plan specific to them. That is more work for the college to adapt to all 2,000 plus students that we have. So would you think that'd be a lot more work for guidance services instead of the 4 options that we have?
Peter's question was, did he not think that the meal plan would cause a lot more work for the college? And to answer that question, I don't think so. I think that, yes, you could make the case for poor budgeting skills with the 4 current meal plans, but I think that the budgeting happens from students having to work around the meal plan. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with that, I think that if the students were allowed to choose their own meal plan, it would allow them to have a lot more responsibility and feel as though they were a part of the process in getting to decide what they ate. And as far as work for the college, I think that really the only work would be accurately giving each student what they wanted. And I think that a program set up on ScotWeb or simply the writing in to the administration, it would be a little more work because you'd be taking individual responses instead of 4 easy categories. But I think that for a small school like this, the work would not outweigh the benefits. Anyone else?
What do you think would be beneficial could you put earlier in your slides talking about $650 and it could be Xbox and like that? What do you think would be beneficial for it instead of having this $3 thing to have students who have a surplus amount of money left to get them in return, them that go back to college?
Peter's question was, would it be better for the students to get their surplus money back at the end of the semester than to have it go to the college? And as a student, I would wholeheartedly agree with you, but as a realist, I don't think the college would be very open to that plan. They keep raising tuition, they keep harping on the fact that they don't have, they need all this money from us. I'm trying to help students where I can because I really don't think that, taking a significant chunk of revenue that they earn from all of us at the end of each semester would be something that they would be very open to.
Yeah.
Thank you.